Welcome guys to another video feature of IGCSE Physical Education. In this section of Anatomy and Physiology, we're going to be talking about the skeleton. Now from the top of the skeleton going downwards, we have the head, and the head is often called the cranium. Then we have the collarbone, which is called the clavicle. Then we have the ribs, and then we also have the sternum, which is the bone in front of the heart. On the top part of the limbs of the arm, we've got the humerus. On the bottom part of the limbs, we've got the radius and the ulna, and then the carpals, the metacarpals, and then the phalanges, which is the lower part of the fingers. On the lower part of the body, we have the femur, which is the strongest bone in the body. This bone is a long bone. And then we've got the kneecap, which is called the patella. And then we've got the tibia and the fibula, which is the two lower bones of the leg. And then we've got the tarsals, the metatarsals, and then the phalanges. And those are the comprising bones of the body. There are three main classes of joints, and joints are the only place where movement can occur. And joints are a place where two bones meet, and they're often covered by ligaments. So the three different classes of joints is fibrous joints, cartilaginous joints, and synovial joints. Fibrous joints are made up of collagen fiber, and there is no movement that takes place in these joints. These joints include the joints that comprise the cranium, so the joints between the bones of the cranium, and the fused bones of the sacrum and the coccyx. Furthermore, cartilaginous joints provide little movement and they form stability, and these are the joints in between the vertebra. Then there is synovial joints that provide free movement, and there are different types of synovial joints. There are many different types of synovial joints, but for the IGCSE exams, we'll be focusing on three different types. Number one on the photo is a ball and socket joint. So number two also is a ball and socket joint. Those are the joints of the shoulder and the hip. Then number three is a hinge joint. Number four is a hinge joint. Number five is a ball and socket joint. Number six is a hinge joint. Number seven is a ball and socket joints. The last type of synovial joints we'll cover in the IGCSE PE is a pivot joint, especially in the vertebrae in the neck. These allow movements of rotation of the neck, especially in sports like soccer, whereby scanning is important. These movements allow scanning. With regards to a synovial membrane, these are at places like the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, the hips, the knee, and at the ankles joints. All synovial joints have a synovial membrane. The synovial membrane secretes synovial fluid. Synovial fluid lubricates the joints. At the 2 points of the articulating bones, there is ligaments that encompass the bones that join the two bones together. Then there is articular cartilage at the ends of the two bone. Articular cartilage ensures that the bones don't rub against each other and it prevents friction. And then there is a fibrous capsule. And the purpose of the fibrous capsule is to protect the synovial membrane. In closing, there are many different types of synovial joints. The most important ones for sports performance are the pivot joint in the neck for scanning and heading in sports like soccer, then the ball and socket joints the in the shoulder and in the hips for kicking in soccer and for also sports like bowling and cricket. And then there is the hinge joints in the elbow and in the knee and in the wrist for sports like badminton when you are taking a couple of shots. And that closes off our chapter on anatomy and physiology, movements at joints.